Welcome to Abu Dhabi. We're just about to start today's race here at the Yas Marina Circuit. It's a track known for its long back straight, which serves as a fantastic opportunity for overtaking, going into the slow speed corners that follow it. The Yas Marina Circuit is made up of 3.28 miles of track, featuring 16 corners with 2 very long straights. DRS zones going into the heavy braking zones of both turn 5 and turn 7 offer plenty of potential for overtaking. The circuit comes with its fair share of tricky corners, which will certainly test a driver's braking management. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and Russell, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Ricciardo and Lando Norris, Joe, Ocon, Sebastian Vettel and Mick Schumacher, Stroll, Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly and Kevin Magnussen, Latifi and Max Verstappen completes the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And a warm welcome, of course, to my co-commentator here today, someone of tremendous experience and insight. It's the man himself, Anthony Davidson. Can we start by having a chat about Sergio Perez?
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? A couple of favourites for the win then, but who comes out on top doesn't really matter as long as they give us an entertaining show en route to the checkered flag. And we want to see fair fighting, of course, out there on the track. Let's hope the stewards don't have to get involved too much today.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
Sergio is in for his stop. P13, currently in P13. Vettel's ahead of you, less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums, and Schumacher's behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Okay, gap to leader, 7.2 seconds. Your pit window opens in 8 laps time. Ahead of you, less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are just 1 lap old. Okay, we think they've got at least 3 more stops. The car ahead has damaged the front wing, but it seems fairly minor. Your last lap time was 1 minute 38.6. Now use DRS. DRS now available. That's 11th place. Shoes ahead of you now. They're on fresh softs. Okay, Tsunoda's behind you. Our gap behind is 1.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. The distance to the leader is 7.1 seconds. Your pit window will be open in 7 laps time. Nice overtake. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:29.6. Ocon ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. Okay, we think they've got at least 3 more stops. Time last lap was a 1 minute 31.3. This is excellent stuff. You're closing in by 7/10 a lap. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 17.7 seconds. Albon ahead. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Okay, we think they've got at least 3 more stops. And the time last lap was a 1:32.3. Right, you're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap. Gap to your teammate behind is 15.5 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in 19th place. Your last lap time was a 1:30.0. Seventh place. Alonso's ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Albon behind. Okay, the gap behind is 1.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 8.7 seconds. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Okay, the car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap starting to form. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 7.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 8 laps old. Okay, we think they've got at least 3 more stops. Time last lap was a 1:30.8. Okay, we're dropping back by around 4 tenths a lap. Give it everything you got. Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 14.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in 19th place. And the time last lap was a 1:30.3.
And away we go, and that was a very nice stop. No problems, very smooth for Verstappen.
Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. Currently P11. It's Latifi ahead of you. And the gap to the car in front is 4.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, Bottas behind. And the gap behind us is 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Our gap to first place is 28.8 seconds. 16 laps now until your pit window opens. 48 laps to go. Sergio's in the pits. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.7 seconds. Hamilton's ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 6.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Our gap to the car in front is 6.5 seconds. Gap to your teammate behind is 17.7 seconds. Vettel ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 2.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 13 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Okay, the car ahead has front wing damage. Front wing damage. The last lap time was a 1:33.1. Okay, keep this going. We're gaining by around 4 seconds a lap. Sergio's in the pits. Ahead's losing 2 seconds a lap to you. Good job. And the gap to the car in front is 4.8 seconds. Hamilton ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 4.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1 minute 29.8. We're gaining by around 2 tenths per lap. Keep going. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 43.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in 20th place. And the time last lap was a 1:29.0. Gap to your teammate behind is 42.9 seconds. You're in 4th position. Hamilton's ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 3.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, Bottas behind. Our gap behind is 6.6 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, gap to leader, 9.9 seconds. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps. And that's 42 laps to go. Hamilton ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 2.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 29.9. You're closing by 4 tenths a lap. Keep it going. ahead of you, and gap to the car in front is 2.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1:30.0. Okay, so you're gaining by around 0.6 a lap. Okay, gap ahead is 1.5 seconds. Leclerc behind. They've just entered the pits. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap. Car behind's just boxed the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre now. Lapping around a second faster than the car ahead. Keep this up. Okay, you sat in P2. It's Hamilton ahead. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Okay, Sainz is behind you. They're on fresh mediums. Your pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps. 37 laps to go.
That's how we do it. Think about your tyres now.
To the pack. That's Hamilton behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. The pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. Okay, there are 35 laps left in this race. Sergio is in for his stop. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Hamilton behind you now. They've just entered the pits. They're on old mediums. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 30.0. Okay, no issues with the tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Leclerc is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 6.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got 1 more stop. Your last lap time was a 1:28.8. That last lap was a 1 minute 29.8.
away we go, and that was a very nice stop. No problems. Very smooth for Verstappen.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Good work, we're in P4. Hamilton's ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Ocon's behind you, and the gap behind us is 40.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The distance to the leader is 15.6 seconds. You've got 18 laps until your pit window opens. All right, 31 laps to go now. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 40.9 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're currently 17th place. Time last lap was a 1:29.1.0 seconds. Information on Hamilton for you. They seem to have an issue. P3, you're currently in P3. Sainz ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 6.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. That's Hamilton behind. They're on fresh mediums. They've got some kind of mechanical problem. Okay, so gap to the leader is 14.4 seconds. 16 laps now until your pit window opens. 29 laps to go. And gap to the car in front is 6.0 seconds. Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 5.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 29.5. Right, you're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap. Hamilton's behind you now. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 5.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. They seem to have an issue. Your last lap time was a 1:31.2. Gap to your teammate behind is 48.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in 12th. Time last lap was a 1 minute 32.0. Gap to the car in front is 4.2 seconds. Sergio's in the pits. Sainz ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 3.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 12 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:29.5. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. Keep going. Right, keep pushing, you're gaining on the car ahead. And gap to the car in front is 2.6 seconds. That's Hamilton behind. Our gap behind is 12.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. They've got some kind of mechanical problem. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 31.3. Leclerc behind, and they've entered the pit lane. They're on fresh mediums. Second place, you're in second place. Okay, Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 1.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Leclerc is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 8.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps, and that's 23 laps to go. Car behind's just boxed the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre now. They're on fresh mediums. They're currently 16th. Time last lap was a 1:30.8. Leclerc behind, and the gap behind us is 6.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 27.9. That last lap was a 1:28.8. Okay, Leclerc's just set the fastest lap of the race so far. Leclerc is behind you. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 5.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 28.0. Leclerc behind. Our gap behind is 4.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:28.0. Okay, so the last lap time was at 1 minute 28.6. tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. That's P1. Leclerc is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 3.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. You've got 4 laps until your pit window opens. Okay, 17 laps to go now. Leclerc behind, and the gap behind us is 3.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1:28.0. We're approaching the pit window, you're going to be on softs. Leclerc is behind you. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 2.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old. The last lap time was a 1:28.1. Okay, last lap time was a 1:28.7. lap was a 1 minute 30.0. Okay, clear.
I am stupid. As much as it bubble.
And ready on. Box and pit confirm, Max. Box, pit confirm.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
And away we go, and that was a very nice stop. No problems. Very smooth for Verstappen.
Look after these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, you're sat in P2, sights ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 4.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Leclerc behind. Our gap behind is 1.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 13 laps to go. Seconds is the gap between you and the next car. 3 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 1.9 seconds. Currently the fastest lap is at 1:27.8. Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap. Okay, Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old now, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 28.6. You're in second place. Sainz ahead, less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Leclerc is behind you, and the gap behind us is 3.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now. First position, front of the pack. That's Sainz behind you now. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 9 laps to go. They're on old mediums. They're 8th. Last lap time was a 1:30.1. Okay, Sainz is behind you. Our gap behind is 2.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. They've done 14 laps on those tyres now. Time last lap was a 1 minute 28.7. signs behind you now. Okay, the gap behind is 2.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres, and the time last lap was a 1:28.5. Okay, so the time last lap was a 1:28.3. They're 8th. Your last lap time was a 1:30.1. That's P1. Okay, Sainz is behind you, and the gap behind us is 3.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. That's Sainz behind you now. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 4.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 18 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:28.6. Okay, so that last lap was a 1:27.4. condition still looking good. Front of the pack. Okay, Science is behind you. Our gap behind is 6.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.